Good evening. Welcome to Adssure's Meet the Expert session, a quick short session where I'm going to introduce you to an absolute expert in fire. So tonight I'm introducing you to Wynand Engelbrecht of Fire Ops SA, and I'm going to ask Wynand to tell us how he can help you. Wynand is the CEO and fire chief, so I affectionately know Wynand as chief, and from a private fire company called Fire Operations Pty Limited. Wynand, welcome tonight. This is a quick introduction to our clients on what you offer and how you can help us, my Addsure clients, protect themselves or mitigate against losses in terms of fires. For everybody out there, Wynand is Adssure's go-to person or Adssure's fire expert. The first person I phone if there's any fire inquiry is Wynand. Chief, over to you. Can you explain to us what you have to offer?
Mike, yes, thank you for the opportunity. We founded this company 3 years ago. It was when it was quite clear that the municipal service of Johannesburg wasn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's still in that state. And I don't want to really expand on that. I think it's pretty well known what is happening in the municipal services in general. And so in Joburg, we have now established ourselves with 5 patches or satellite stations or firehouses, if you wish. We are running 12 vehicles and we have 48 full-time firefighters on payroll. And so we are well spread over the city already, and we are working at the moment at 3 more patches, which will definitely be active or operational before the end of this year. So the last one we opened was on the 1st of September when we started our operation in Rosebank. And so what we offer is, if you compare what we do, is that we've just upscaled from conventional firefighting to tactical work, which is rapid intervention and aggressive attack.
So essentially, Wynand, you are a private fire services company that will react very fast to a fire, assumably before the local authorities could possibly get there. That would be your intention. And then also to provide services to your clients. Can you perhaps expand on what I've just asked you?
Yes, our service or services that we offer are compounded in that we have the one division that is obviously the firefighting division, which is our core business and our primary service. Then we also consult very widely with architects and engineers and the client and whoever needs our advice on a commercial level. We also have a leg where we do our own contracts and installations of systems, maintenance of systems such as sprinklers, detection systems, and so on. And then fourthly, we also do fire course investigations for insurance companies. So those are the 4 legs of the business. And they are equally well developed and equally well managed. And all 4 of them are at the moment equally well received in the market as we speak.
Fantastic. Wynand, I've been working with you for about the past year. Luckily, we haven't had to phone you up to put out a fire just yet. I'm sure the day will come, and I'll be very interested to see how you react. But just for everybody's sake, what we as Addsure are promoting is, if that's particularly for the Gauteng clients of ours, typically you are a body corporate in the Rosebank area or in Randburg or, somewhere near or fairly near to a patch, as Wynand describes. The idea is that you subscribe. We'll talk about that now. But also that you then have a number. In other words, your ops room number is given to the estate manager of your estate or your person or maybe your trustees. But the idea is that everybody has an app. And by pressing the button on the app, the fire ops can react very quickly. And I'll won't steal Vanant's thunder. I think I'll let him explain. But that's the idea. Addsure is wanting our clients to look at mitigation. You want a fast reaction when there's a fire. Perhaps you can expand on that, Vanant.
Yeah, Mike, the idea with a fire is always to have to identify the problem as early as possible. And so early detection is prime, and then early suppression following onto that. And so the app gives the user the advantage that when they press it, it is literally 60 seconds from the caller to the crew. The crew gets the call, it has already got the coordinates in, we swing the keys and we respond. And so we service the entire Joburg footprint. And so we aim to be inside of the structure within 10 to 12 minutes in the event that it is an industrial fire, and up to 15 minutes in a house fire. And the reason we have an extra 3 minutes with a house fire is that hopefully the family pulled up the doors behind them. And that gives us an extra little bit of an advantage. That's if nobody opens the front door again and nobody breaks windows whilst we are still traveling. So that's the idea. And so we are actually running against a timeline. We try to improve on that timeline every run that we do. We absolutely regard it as our next best fire.
No, fantastic.
And that's the aim. Yes, the aim is to diminish the
as
timeline
quick as possible.
And then when we get there and there's a flame, we'll just take it out, because that's what we do best. Yes.
Something which I've been very impressed with, because obviously you've shown me a few of your latest attacks. I call them attacks against the fire that you've managed to deal with. And one of the things I've been pretty impressed with is your fleet, your equipment, and the way you work with technology. Can you elaborate?
Yes, we've got 12 vehicles in the fleet, of which 2 are major pumpers. And then on this slide, you see rapid intervention vehicles. Now, inside those cargo vans are units that are high-tech and that are of ultra-high pressure composition. So we work at between 80 bar and 200 bar pressure. We use really small amounts of water because the attack is so aggressive, and because we focus on the smoke column instead of the flame. That's really what we want to take out. So our primary attack is these little guys. That's what we use for it. So they're easy to maneuver. We drive them up into the driveway. We dominate that driveway. And we actually just draw water from your domestic tap for those little units. And then we've got enough water to tackle a house fire. And we've done it over and over and over. We've done over 800 runs with this first one. It is now known as Tango 1. It used to be Foxtrot 1. We've done over 800 runs with this unit, and it is extremely efficient. And then we also have what is now known as the fire sheet that we have developed, where we have a 2-hour fire-rated sheet, and we simply draw that over, for instance, a burning car, and within 40 seconds, well, everything is over, the fire is out. Now, whether you throw it over that car or over a couch in a house where a couch is on fire, there, for instance, what we're showing here is a mini sub on a pavement, the council's or Eskom's mini sub, and it was like really 45 seconds later, and the fire is out. It's suffocated. We leave that sheet over, and we reuse the sheets. I think we carry between 20 and 25 of these sheets on the fleet, and we've used some of them over 20 times.
Yeah, excellent. So this is a very typical scenario for a body corporate or a homeowners association. We have these mini subs dotted around the complex.
Or a high-rise building with, for instance, say, basement parking and so on. So and next time when we speak about the real new challenge, which is electric cars, you will see that this is the only solution for an electric car fire, because you cannot put it out with water or foam or powder. And so this is really the only, and we'll talk about that. I think, at the latest stage.
Yeah, Venant, you mentioned that I would love to do an hour's presentation with you. I know that you've got lots of stories to tell, and we worked with you online a few times, and we've had quite a few meetings, and there's a tremendous amount to chat to Venant about. He's got a lot of war stories, but tonight we're just doing a quick introduction. Venant, just I think in closing, I've put your details up there so that any trustee or body corporate owner, for that matter, or even homeowners association directors, but specifically portfolio managers and managing agents, that they can contact you. These are the contact details. And then perhaps, you can have a chat or do a similar discussion with some of their trustees if need be.
Yes.
Just in closing, can you just give an idea of how you work? In other words, how the subscription works. We're going to talk to you about Addsure clients at a future time, and hopefully in the not too distant future. But meanwhile, what you would offer, you say a body corporate of say up to 10 units or maybe 500 units, and how it would work, and maybe a quick also about your walkabout, which I think is very important.
Yeah. Well, there's a sliding scale, of course. All things in the world probably work on sliding scales, and so for a residential house, one front door, if we sign that up as an individual property, that's 35 Rand per month, excluding VAT. And then there's a sliding scale, so that if you have a complex of say 8 or 10 units, it is in the vicinity of 250 Rand a month for the complex, and it goes through right up to the mega complexes or estates or lifestyle developments, where you could pay up to as little as 3,000 Rand, and that would bring down, depending on that mega size, it could bring down a front door cost to about 8 or 12 Rand per month per front door.
Okay, so a complex of say 10 units, maybe 250 Rand a month. That's indeed a very low cost for the mitigation. And then when you put out the fire, of course, that bill goes to the insurance company, which then becomes my problem to make sure you get paid as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Firstly, there's the monthly fee, and then also there's an establishment fee for complexes, which is approximately 130% of the monthly fee. So if your monthly fee is 250 Rand, there's going to be an establishment fee of approximately 300 Rand. That's for the basic paperwork and the stuff that we have to sort out. And there's quite an amount of paperwork, so it does keep us busy. And then when we do actually attend a fire, there's a bill for that. And that bill could be anything from 2,000 Rand to roughly about, or on an average, about 25,000 Rand. We've had higher than that, but it's when we have really difficult situations that we've spent more time on, and that you simply take and pass on to the broker or your insurer.
Correct.
And I cannot speak on behalf of the insurers, but I can tell you that we've never had a claim refuted. Our part of the claim has never been refuted.
No, 100%. Just for everybody's sake to know that if fire ops is not billing you for that, the local fire department would anyway. So, and that bill always goes to the insurance company. And likewise, over the last 26 years of doing this, the fires that we've attended to in terms of the claims, we've also never had a problem with those bills. And then, Venant, what is critically important to me is your walkabout, because I've had clients where I've suggested to the local to the body corporate that they arrange the local fire chief to come around and do an audit. And in one case, I remember the gable of the entrance of the body corporate had to be removed after the visit, just to give you an idea.
So you open a can of worms that you didn't want to. Some call it an audit and some call it a
walkabout.
A survey, and they are big words, but I just walk through the complex. I mean, whether it's a 25-story multi-story building or whether it's a small complex, I just walk through, I make notes, I give you my opinion, and I summarize it afterwards. And so that you have an idea from a firefighter's perspective, what is possibly wrong. And I really touch on the major issues. I don't look at the expiry dates of fire extinguishers, which is fine, but that's not my forte. And so I look at the major stuff and I remind you that maybe you should have a look at it, by way of your contracts that you have with somebody, or you ask me to do it. And so there is at least, and you can negotiate even that, but there's at least one walkabout that I do not charge for. And I do that. It's like extracting teeth. I say it to you now, and then I hope you don't do it. No, I'm just
Yeah.
but it works. It works on the basis that you have to draw. So I won't push and say it's now time for your walkabout. You have to draw and say, we're ready for a walkabout. Would you please come? And I need about 2 days notice. Sometimes I just get into the car when you're there and we'll just do it,
Yeah, great. And Wynand, I hope to join you on some of those site visits. It's always interesting for me to join you. Okay, Wynand, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time this evening, and I'm hoping that many of our clients will sign up for your services. I think it's awesome. I'm very excited about our relationship going back now, I think nearly a year. And where we've introduced you to quite a number of our clients already. So there we go.